Hello everyone. Now we will begin with the second section of the poem, The Lotus Eaters. Now this particular section has been given a title, and that is that choric song. Choric song means here the sailors are singing together. They share same opinion, and the opinion is that they won't continue with their voyage or their journey back home, and they would love to stay back on this particular island of the Lotus Eaters. The sailors sing together and in their song give arguments after arguments in favor of a life of rest and inaction. In the island there is sweet music, there are cool mosses through which ivy creeps and poppy flowers hang down their heads as if in sleep. They would never leave such pleasant surroundings. Moreover, in nature, they find that all things have rest. The leaf, the flower, the fruit, all grow and die at one place. They never move or roam about. Then why should they, that means the sailors, who are the roof and crown of things, the best creation, the supreme creation of God, why they never fold their wings and have rest? Besides this, human life is short, and it is no good to face the stormy ocean or fight with evil. It is far more sweet to lie reclining there, listening to the gentle, sweet music of the island, wholly under the influence of mild-minded melancholy. During their long absence from home, things must have changed there. Their sons must have taken their place and assumed their power and authority, and the return would only spoil their joy. They would receive merely a cold welcome from everyone out there. Even if there is some confusion and trouble in their homeland, they can do nothing for it, for they have grown old and weak. So finally they all decide that let what is broken so remain, and let them rest reclined on beds of amaranth and moly. So this is the crux, this is the gist of the entire choric song. In the last stanza of the poem, the sailors cite the example of the gods as a further argument in favor of a life of rest and quiet. The gods in their heaven have to do no work. They lie reclined on the hills, careless of mankind, drink their nectar and hurl thunderbolts on mankind, on the mankind who lives on the earth. Instead of sympathizing with man, they smile at their suffering, enjoy the sweet music of his prayer, which is meaningless to them. They will not toil anymore, say the sailors. Rather, like the gods, they will enjoy the sweet music of the island, rest on beds of asphodel, and will not wander anymore. It is to be noted that the conception of the gods given here is pagan and not Christian. They are not merciful and loving as the Christian gods are, but indifferent and cruel. They even take pleasure in the sufferings of the mankind. However, it should be remembered that this view of the gods is not Tennyson's individual view of Tennyson. The story belongs to the pre-Christian era, and it is the view of Ulysses sailors that Tennyson has rightly presented here. So, after understanding the underlying idea of this choric song, we'll take this choric song stanza wise.